Hello writers, okay. So today I'm going to show you my creative process of writing a story. So today is called Creative Process, and this is how writers can have a creative process of how to think. So we're going to start with the prompt: end your story with a character standing in the rain. So this could be many things. So when a character standing in the rain, this could potentially mean that they have been potentially heartbroken, whether that be a relationship, or it could potentially mean a bigger picture. So standing in the rain could also mean a lot of things. It could be a positive thing as well if you really want to dive that deep into it. So my character's name. So this is how I decide. So first, this is also how I decide how to write my story. So we're going to start with character. So the character could be any name you could think of. So for the sake of this, we're going to call our character Adam Jones. Okay, now we're going to put our setting. Our setting is going to be, I think it's to be after school, at school. Okay, and then let's see, so you can also add many characters, so you can add secondary characters, which are characters that are brought up potentially a little bit, but our main character for the sake of this is named Adam Jones. So our secondary character is going to be named Jacob, let's see, Jacob Kennel. Jacob Kennel. And this could be potentially best friend of Adam Jones. There you go. Alright. So our character is Adam Jones, and he's at school right now, and Jacob Kennel. Okay. So we start off our story by potentially saying what is happening right now. We could start our story off with many ways. We could start off our story by simply saying my name is and introducing the character. So my approach to this is potentially we can also have a little bit of like a summary where our character talks to us in a first person perspective. So it could be like this. This is the story on how my best day ever turned into my worst day ever. So it's like a little of let's see. This one right here is pretty much how you could start your story. So this is the story of how my best day ever turned into my worst day ever. So that's pretty much what like a first person's perspective talking to you is, if you get what I mean, of course. Okay, so it pretty much gives like I want to say readers a hook. So when they hear that, they want to hear like, oh, how did it turn into your best day to worst day ever? That's a confusing scenario. So you want to have your readers thinking when you present your writing in any kind of way, whether that be in a debate or whether in a story or anything like that. That is always key. There's many ways to start it. So one day this happened, blah blah blah. Okay. It all started in a high school, my freshman year. Okay, so this is the part where I'm going to start thinking aloud, so bear with me. It all started in high school, my freshman year. I was sitting in, let's say, algebra with my best friend at the time, Adam. Oh, geez, I almost said Adam Jones. Jacob Kennel. Jacob and me met in first grade. The story of how we met is quite interesting. So as you see here, I'm giving quick backstory of how we met. So it's pretty interesting of how they met. So that could give a little bit of backstory. You could give many details as much as you want. So you could say, I was sitting in algebra in the farther left corners, in the farther middle corner, something like that. And it gives the readers a picture, so it starts to play this movie in their head as they're reading. Like, I've always learned that from my different kind of classes I'm in, whether that be English class and stuff like that, that reading is interesting when a writer can give you a story that you could picture in your head. Okay, so the story of how we met is quite interesting. My first day, I walked into the wrong classroom. Let's say, Miss Jenny's class room. That is the teacher Jacob had. I sat next to him, and the teacher didn't realize that I was in the wrong classroom. Okay. The story of how we met is quite interesting. The first day I walked into the wrong classroom, Miss Jenny's classroom. That is the teacher Jacob had. I sat next to him, and the teacher didn't realize that I was in the wrong classroom. Therefore, I was, no joke, in the wrong classroom for almost an hour. Okay, so that is how I met my best friend. We clicked very fast. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and fast forward to, for say, let's see. We're gonna fast forward ahead. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let's see what I could do here. Okay, I got an idea. Now we're gonna go ahead and have a flashback. I suddenly saw myself dozing off in algebra. The teacher called on me, but I did not realize. I was thinking of other things, such as how me and Jacob left. So this is an interesting transition, because we see that he's talking about the story of how they met. So we're going to put the screen highlight for a little background. Any single background that's in here, I give this. And this is, let's see. This one's going to be highlighted in, what was it? Yeah, blue. Let's go add a comment. So this one is going to be called Transition from Flashback. So you could have many ways of transitioning a flashback. This could be literally like saying anyways, or something like that. Okay? I was thinking of other things such as how and I, Jacob, left. Okay, met. So the story is pretty much up to you. This is how we have a creative process. So the story in this instance right here would have ended as, let's say, Jacob and Adam no longer become friends because of some, let's say, high school problems. Like, they had an argument in algebra class about stuff like that, and Jacob started, okay, I got one. Jacob started hanging out with a new crowd, which causes Jacob to turn against his best friend Adam Jones. So, of course, this is a way of how the story can end in standing in the rain. Because generally, when we're speaking, usually in movies, we do realize how sometimes a character can be standing in the rain, which would trigger a sadness feeling to the setting, necessarily. In the next episode, I'm going to be going into more detail on how to have a creative process, which means I'm going to show you an exact layout of how I plan my stories, and I'm going to attempt to plan a story that is, let's say, interesting. Let's just say that. Because I feel like if I show my actual story layout right now of my book, then that's gonna, of course, have someone else trying to steal my ideas, which I'm not trying to do. But what you could do is you could expand through other ideas. So right here, you can expand through this. So you could create your own story based off this. So that is your assignment if you're willing to do that. I will have this posted in the link below, the PDF, of course. Thank you, and hopefully we will continue. I will continue to make Writer Wednesday videos. So in next episode on Writer Wednesday, I will be showing you the exact layout, of course. And this, I hope this can become a common occurrence where I show you how to free write and I think of different free writing ideas. This is the website where I mainly get my type of ideas from, of course. So there's like a really good ideas here that you could use. You could just copy and paste it, put it into a document, and use it like that. So a character driving in the rain, the first rain. Most of these are just generally interesting ideas to expand upon. And as you can see, they're actually live stories. So right here it says 44 stories. If I click on it, then it shows someone's story right here. The Fire and the Liar by Elizabeth Gordon. Okay, so it's pretty interesting of how we can connect our ideas in different kind of ways and think of different stuff, if you get my idea. Creative writing is very important because I have discovered without writing, we won't be able to learn how to talk. And without learning how to talk, we won't be able to voice our opinions. Thank you for watching. This is Anthony Badias, of course, signing out. And remember, keep on writing and keep on fighting. Goodbye.